This is a video tutorial on how to get 3 stars on Bloody Good for Thronefall. As you can see here, the weapon perks and mutator are all preset, and in order to get the 3 stars you need at least 4,200 points, which is actually very difficult to do. As you can see, there's going to be no mutator bonus. The gold is all going to be needed for the actual gameplay. If you try to save the gold, you're pretty much just trading it for time bonus anyways, so I found spending the gold is the better choice. For the perks, you can see here, you got the heavy armor, which gives you more life and healing. You have the war horse, which means you do more damage through trampling through enemies, and healing gold. So all three of these, well, these two in particular, will be more important for the actual gameplay. So in this first wave here, it's pretty straightforward. Each wave, the enemies are going to be coming from only one direction, except for the last wave. My general strategy with the large enemies is to use my special ability on one enemy, and then the following one I will just focus fire down. The additional time that you focus on an enemy increases the damage output on them. And while you're doing that, it also has the additional benefit of giving you an opportunity to heal for the following enemy. So as you can see here, this one I'm focusing firing down. Now that we're standing here, you'll see that their life actually starts decreasing at a faster rate, and then I'm able to immediately use my special power on the following. Next wave is going to be 40 slimes coming from the south. With the smaller type enemies, general strategy is kind of run through them using the Warhorse ability to damage them, soften them up for the tower. I kind of run back and forth to pull the enemies towards the center and to kind of keep holding them up and doing damage to them. Just make sure you keep an eye on your health bar. You do not want to be killed. The 10-second restarting, or the 10 seconds for resurrecting, just will destroy your runs basically. Many of the waves I had to reset multiple times, so there basically will be no reset bonus. So again, just your base score is where it's going to come in. Along those lines, with the 9 waves, you're going to need 467 points on average per wave. As you can see, you get 100 for the night survival, 250 for 100% protection, which you'll need to do every wave. So you'll need to average 117 points per wave. As you can see on my second wave, I was under that, but I was significantly over on the first wave. That between the two, I'm still above the average. For this third wave, kind of focusing on the spiders, the towers have enough life to kind of hold off the slimes for a bit. And again, with the spiders, I'm using the tactic of special ability on one and kind of focus fire down the other. Along those lines, there's also some elite slimes that are mixed in. As you saw, I just killed one there. They drop coins, and picking those coins up will heal me up to full. So it gives you an opportunity to use your special skill a little bit faster. At this point, I'm now focusing on the slimes to protect the tower because my castle's got decent life, so the spider can kind of focus it down. As you can see, I went back, took out the spider, and just finishing off these last few slimes. Again, you have to have 100% protection, so if any of your buildings get destroyed, you'll need to do a reset. I try to keep my score in here for the remaining waves so you can kind of compare to yours. This is the first wave in which we'll have gold for towers. So for the first tower, I do an archer tower from this direction. I don't think it particularly matters too much as to which tower you upgrade first in terms of from the same direction. However, there is some RNG involved, so some of the resets will happen. As you can see here, these blobs are a bit alternating the direction they're coming from, but sometimes all 5 of them might come for the bottom tower, and then I may have to reset. These elite enemies, when they die, they will drop coins. I don't worry about them. The towers are enough and the castle are enough to take them out. As you can see, the coins are there. So I'm kind of just finishing off these bosses, and then I'll run get the coins for the heal, so that when my special ability cooldown is reset, I'm able to immediately use it, being at full health. As you can see, the towers have enough health to handle these enemies. I don't need to do any kind of body blocking or anything. I've got 15 coins again for another tower upgrade, so I'm always upgrading the towers in which the enemies are going to be attacking from. So in this direction, as you saw there, I did the flame tower. I always do the same 2 towers in the same direction. So the north towers are going to be sniper towers when you see those, or ballista actually, sorry. So for this one, same type strategy, just kind of back and forth, pulling the enemies in the middle. Again, though, there are those elite slimes that are in there. You want to make sure that they don't hit the tower. They do a lot of damage there. And as you see there, I'm kind of just damaging the enemies, and when I get low on life, I will take out the elite enemy. They'll drop the coins, and I'll be able to heal up and continue my onslaught. So that's kind of the key with this one, is to just constantly be doing as much damage, and when low on health, to be able to heal immediately so that you can just continue injuring the enemies. And keeping an eye on the tower health, kind of pulling them away for the ones that are low on health. Again, RNG can be involved. If a whole lot of the enemies are going towards the unupgraded tower, it's likely to be destroyed. So you may have to reset just in that regard. For this next wave, there's just these 3 elite enemies coming from the north. Again, as I said before, I do the ballista tower. That will help slow down the enemies as well, give you an opportunity. So I use my special ability, but as you see with these elite enemies, they have a ton of health. It only took a fraction off. So I keep focusing on just the one enemy. As you can see, if you hit the Alt button, that will lock on to the enemy. That way I will do the increased damage from the focus fire. Now, as you see here, I'm kind of trying to position myself between the enemy and the tower. This is body blocking. Right there, I stopped him. So he's doing damage to me, so that way he's not doing damage to the tower. And then I'm not using my special ability because he is doing damage to me. I don't want to have the special ability go off and then he essentially immediately kills me. So I pick up the coins, get full health, and again, he almost took out the tower, so I push the enemy away, body blocking to protect the health of the tower. At this point, I'm purposely trying to push him towards the other tower to basically get him to not focus on the weak tower. As I mentioned before, I do the same tower upgrades from the direction, so another archer tower here. For this wave of the flyers, the elite enemy, when you use your special on them, you want to make sure that you're a distance away. Otherwise, their first arrow they shoot will pretty much immediately kill you. And then you don't have the 10 seconds to spare. Because as you see here, in between focusing the elite enemies, I'm running back and forth and grabbing these smaller enemies to not have my castle center get overwhelmed. It gives my archer towers an opportunity to kill the few that do get through, while the other ones are focusing me down. Now that they're taken out, my castle center's pretty okay. I can just kind of finish off the last elite one. You do want to focus on it. As you can see, it does a lot of damage to the archer tower. You do not want that destroyed, or you will not get the protection bonus. When you see with my final score, it's still pretty close. This is the 8th wave. I found this one to be the most difficult. So again, I did a flame tower. I did a lot of resets with this one. So the same strategy with the weaker enemies, kind of just running back and forth, using Warhorse to damage them, soften them up for the towers, and try to pull them towards the center. The big thing you want to focus on are these ogres, these elite ogres. They do a ton of damage. so you do not want them to be attacking your tower. What I do, again, is I lock on the ogre, so that this way I can run around and damage the other enemies, soften them up for the tower, and by focusing on the ogre, as you see, he's kind of chasing me around, so he's not going towards the towers. When he gets low on life, or when he dies, he'll drop the coins. I can pick those up. There's going to be the 3 ogres total, so one of the reasons this is very difficult is the timing is just very tight on everything. So not only do I need to keep trying to run around and soften up these guys for these towers, but I need to make sure that I'm also doing enough damage on the ogres so that I can take them out without getting overwhelmed. Because as you can see, the 3rd one's coming up, and I don't have the 2nd one finished off very well. And I need to get to that 3rd one, focus on him to pull him away so he does not start hitting that tower. As you can see, very low on life. If you were to get a swing on that tower, he'd pretty much destroy it. Even with playing well, as you can see, these towers are extremely low on life. Now, for the final wave, this is the only wave in which the enemies will be coming from each direction. However, they do come one at a time, so that does give you an opportunity. So, they do start from the north first. As you can see, I kind of spliced my videos together, multiple attempts. This is where some of that RNG comes into play, where these 8 enemies that are coming through, they might all come on essentially the same lane and all gang up on the same tower and be able to destroy it before you're able to do the damage output to stop them. As you can see here, this wave, luckily, they're a bit more staggered, so that gives me an opportunity to kill them before they start ganging up on a tower. So as you can see, I kind of got 3 going for the lower tower, 2 going for the upper tower, so that does give me an opportunity to protect the towers, essentially. So again, with these large enemies, still doing the same tactic of using my special ability on one and then kind of focusing fire on the next enemy. As you can see here on the mini map, the south wave starting to come in. So once I finish off these, I immediately need to start going south to try to protect those towers. Luckily, these towers survive. See how close that tower was to being destroyed. So that's where a lot of resets come in, with just trying to make sure you get the enemies positioned well to get through with that. Having said that, it didn't take too many attempts. Other than the 8th wave, that, like I said, that was the hardest one. You know, maybe half hour of attempts. But this one, you know, 10-15 minutes of attempts, and I was able to get it through. With the weaker enemies, same strategy of attacking them, running back and forth, trying to pull them into the middle, running through them to kind of pull them away from the tower. As you see, I almost lost that tower right there. And finish them off. And the final wave are these giant spiders. Luckily, they always go for the castle center. They don't attack the towers. And this also is where some of that RNG comes into play. If the spiders all take the southern route, then the ballista towers don't hit them, and you can get kind of overwhelmed. In this regard, 3 of them went north, which was great, because you can see the ballista towers definitely weakened them up for me, so that I'm able to just kind of focus fire off the remaining ones. And with that, that completes the final wave without losing any of the towers. As long as you're keeping an eye on your time bonus, you should be able to make it. As you can see here, 44 points to spare. So it's awfully tight in order to get through. So I hope that helped you.